Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Cancer. So Cancer, as always, I'm doing your reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you'll see are from this deck. In Cancer, I feel like you have been thinking about somebody specifically and just wondering about them and trying to perceive them from every angle possible. So maybe this is somebody that you admire, that you respect, that you it's like you find inspiration in them, or it's like you're trying to do some research before approaching them, because I'm not seeing necessarily the approach. I'm seeing all of the wondering and pondering and dreaming about them and trying to learn about them from every angle. And I feel like you are simply amazed by every single thing that you find about them, right? It's almost like you are, it's like doing a lot of research, right? It's like you're discovering like more and more about them from different scenarios or different points of view that make you see them as very victorious, very successful, very accomplished, the word that is coming through is very sincere. So perhaps the authenticity in them is something that you praise a lot, right? And so the big question here that maybe is part of this pondering phase for you, Cancer, is, well, I was going to say, when is going to be your turn, right? When is going to be perhaps your moment to approach them, or if this moment will ever come. Because the way that I'm seeing here, let me show you already the first card. We're beginning with the Three of Cups, right? So to me, essentially, this is the card for co-creation, a very pure, honest, loving co-creation, right? Because the three hearts have to be in the same frequency, right? To tune into each other so this co-creation is, well, fruitful, right? But there's something that is very interesting coming from this card today, because I'm seeing you here, Cancer, as this one heart, seeing these two here that seem to be in a more, it's like they are in sync, they are in this beautiful dance, right? It's like they are already connected, and perhaps you are the one that is just arriving, or it's like you are the one looking at these two, right? And so it's almost like I'm seeing you, Cancer, looking at not necessarily this one, right? Perhaps others, right? Who are in partnerships, who are in relationships, loving relationships, perhaps, you know, romantic relationships. I am a little bit reluctant to say that, but it is, you know, a possibility, although it could be otherwise, right? You will know how it fits for you. But for some reason, it's like you are looking at couples or business partners or friends or siblings or people who are in relationships that feel like they groove together, right? And maybe you are feeling like the outsider. So this big question of when it's going to be your turn is coming through this very first card, but it's actually emphasized by this one, which is, you know, it's like lined up with the first, but it's coming in the second line, which is the Six of Cups, right? And so I feel like maybe you have been, you know, observing other people's relationships, right? Including this last recent person that has ignited your interest, right? That has caught your attention for some reason. because maybe they feel very accomplished to you, very successful, right? You admire them, you want to get close to them, or maybe you just want to learn how they do what they do, right? But before we talk about this person, I feel like it's like maybe you have been reminiscing about your own relationships or other people's relationships, and it's like you have been singled out, right? Wanting to be part, wanting to co-create in a sense. It's like you want to, it's like you want to have like a healthy relationship perhaps, right? And when you think about that, when you go do your research, it's like there is somebody already in your mind, right? It's like maybe it starts with you desiring, right? Dreaming about and being inspired by other couples, by other partners, right? But then it's like very quickly somebody materializes in your mind, or at least in your heart, right? Because with the King of Pentacles, I feel like this is somebody real. This is not like this, it's not like this fantasy of yours. It's not like this, you know, this wild dream of yours of a perfect partner or this ideal partner, right? And yes, because it's the King of Pentacles, perhaps we are talking about, you know, a business partner, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship, right? It's like maybe you just want an honest, open, very sincere relationship, right? Because this is what you have been desiring or seeking, or being inspired by others and trying to nurture that in your own heart so it manifests, especially with the Magician card being here, the last card in your first part, which I am going to get there. But I feel like it's like you want a real partner, a partner that is not some sort of distant illusion, or like this distant dream, right? Or this very like surreal perspective, right? Or like it's not what you desire, Cancer. I feel like you want somebody that is embodied, that is real, that exists, right? And it's like you're, as I said, it's like you're here observing and nurturing yourself, your own dream, your own desire, in a way that gives you, it's like you're trying to see their essence, right? It's like, so after this King, the Sun card showed an image that perhaps I have never seen before, maybe because they've never shown in this way. But what I'm seeing here is like, here you're seeing this perspective of the crown, you know, face to face almost, right? It's like seeing from this human eye level, right? It's like this very direct approach, right? Or maybe you're just seeing this first facade, right? The first impression, right? It's like the first impression is already one that you respect a lot, that you admire a lot. But then here comes the Sun, which is interesting because I feel like it illuminates a lot of things in your awareness about who this King is, right? Because what I'm seeing here is like this crown from above. So imagine if you were to see instead, you know, this King, you know, face to face, but see him from above, right? It's like it's almost like learning about what they're thinking, right? Or it's like learning about all of their facets, right? Not just the one that is like the primary, most significant one, right? Which perhaps includes, you know, their professional success, their material accomplishments, right? Or maybe just their appearance, their physical appearance, right? So it's like you want to study them, you want to perceive them from every different angle, from every different facade. And that is what is going to give you the truest, most genuine, most authentic essence of who they are, right? And so I feel like it's like you really are able to perceive them, you know, from this very core perspective, right? It's like you go beyond just this primary facet or facade or appearance, right? Or curriculum or whatever it is, right? It's almost like this is the side that perhaps, you know, everybody that knows something about them knows about this facade of them, right? This is like their resume. This is how they present themselves out into the world, right? But what you're doing, and it's interesting because I feel like and it's not like it's like it's very quickly, right? It's like you start nurturing this feeling of, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if I found this real partner just as much, you know, as all of the people, or perhaps, you know, somebody in your life that is in a great relationship, right? It's like the moment you start nurturing that thought, which I feel like starts very pure, it's almost like starts very innocently, right? You weren't even trying to go there, but it goes there very quickly. It's like straight away there is somebody in your mind, or maybe that, you know, cross paths with you, although I feel like they don't perceive you. It's like it's only you admiring them, right? It's like they're not necessarily seeing you, at least not in this way that you are seeing them, right? Because the way that you want to see them, or the way that you want to learn more about them, is in a very, it's like it is in a, is going to their core, going to their essence, you know, trying to find information or trying to find different perspectives that are not just the obvious, right? And I feel like you are so, it's like you're just amazed. I feel like the more you dig, the more you research, the more you find things about them, it's like it just grows, right? It's like it starts with a little spark, but then it illuminates your full consciousness, right? It's like this is complete awareness of who they are, not just physically, not just professionally, not just, you know, in this human facade. It's like you know them in a sense, right? It's almost like you look at them and you see their true brightness, their real light, right? And here with the Six of Wands, I feel like it's like you see them as victorious, as a champion. Again, it's like there is admiration, there is respect, because perhaps it's like in this investigation, in this pondering, in this wandering, it's like you learn about their champion steps, is how it's coming through the Six of Wands, right? It's like their steps towards success, their steps towards, you know, winning an incredible battle, or, you know, many obstacles, and coming to the other side successful, and like they have conquered. It's like they have earned, right, this respect that you have for them. It's like it's not something that was just a facade, just an obvious external facet, right? It's like it's real, right? It's like they really truly built that for themselves. It's like they have fought incredible battles so that they have this success that they are known for, that they are recognized for, that they are respected for, right? And including you, I want to say, right? Maybe you didn't know this person until yesterday, until, you know, last week. I feel like it's somebody that it's fresh in your life, right? But in a sense, it refreshes even more. It's like it illuminates, it brings this joy and this happiness, right? The more you discover things that are incredible, or it's just like illuminating you, okay, Cancer. But I feel like this could turn into a small obsession, right? So maybe this is a warning, or maybe this is just like, you know, just, yes, this is an incredible person. Yes, they are very successful. Yes, they're very inspiring. That's, you know, something that could, you know, help you find this happiness, this joy. It's like it's giving you this possibility of seeing them from different angles, but it turns like all you can think about is them, right? It's like this king is everything that is running through your mind, Cancer. So maybe this is, you know, the Seven of Swords came yesterday in the Gemini extended, and it was talking about the ability that Gemini developed to envelope, to contain, right, their traumas or their fears or their anxiety, right, the negative thoughts. And so I feel like for some reason it's like seeing this king from every angle is only making you think about them in a more expensive way, right? It's like it's making it grow, right? The more you find about them, it's like the more it excites you, the more it brings you this big smile to your face. So maybe you don't want, it's like you want to keep on trying to find different angles, right? To maybe find more happiness, more joy. It's like to learn from their steps, right? It's like maybe you too want to be, you know, a champion of life, you know, you too want to be successful, right? You want to succeed in life. And it's like you know, maybe this is just, you know, somebody that you admire that is, you know, a public figure, right? So maybe this is not going to develop as like this romantic relationship, right? It's just, you know, that's the thing. It's like, just be careful, Cancer, for this not to become some sort of, again, like a dreamscape fantasy type of illusion, right? Because I feel like at the end of the day, it's like when you find them, it's like you realize that there is somebody out there in the world that is real, that could potentially, you know, meet your standards, or, you know, be as in sync or in tune with your desires, right? But maybe you are, I don't know, maybe there is this expansion, right, that is growing too fast, right? So the guidance here from the Seven of Swords is like maybe you have to contain these thoughts, right? You have to encapsulate them in a way that they don't, it's like they don't distract you too much, right? Because it's like the first line is all about this king, right? So it's almost like very quickly, it's like you go from finding inspiration in some random couple, or maybe a couple that you know, right, that is close to you, that is intimate with you, and then it goes to this person that feels like, you know, a stranger at this point, right? It's like you don't know them. It's like maybe you have never talked to them, you have never approached them. It's like just this distant admiration, right? But I have to say, although yes, maybe they are a stranger, maybe they're somebody that, you know, you work with, right? And so there is this, it's like this formality, right, that needs to be respected. They feel familiar, right? With the Six of Cups coming next, again, as I said, it's like, you know, maybe you have, it's like maybe you have been feeling like, you know, you are the only one not in a couple, or not in a relationship, or not in a business partnership that is healthy, that is successful, right? And so seeing them very successful, but also very inspiring to you, it's like, and them being a real person, right? An authentic person. It's almost like everything that you want is like to be close to them, right? But maybe, and that's another thing, right? Maybe in your research here with the Sun card, it's like some of the facets that you have discovered about them, it's like that maybe they have more experience in that area, right? In partnerships than you, right? Because it's like maybe you have one close relationship that you can use as an example, right? But maybe they have multiple relationships in their past that give them a lot of experience, that give them a lot of, it's just like maturity, right? And so, but I feel like for some reason, you cannot get them out of your mind, right? Because it's like, I'm seeing this as like this reoccurring thought, right? It's like you think about them, and then when you see, it's like it's going on and on and on. It's like it's multiplying in your brain, right? And so it's like, because they feel familiar, because they feel like somebody that it's like perhaps you could be, you know, in a close connection with, right? Perhaps you see that there is this reciprocity that could develop, that could evolve, right? It's almost like there is this longing for being in a relationship, and because they are in the back of your mind, or I want to say in the forefront of your mind, it's like immediately you feel like they could be the perfect match, right? And I have to say, I'm not completely sure if they are or not. Okay, Cancer, I feel like this is going to be on your side, because I feel like there are still surprises ahead. I feel like with this Magician ending here, your reading, there's something that is out of sight. Because what I heard with this card was anything can come out of the hat of the Magician, right? It's like you're just seeing little sparks. It's like you're getting a few glimpses, and the glimpses that you're getting are extremely familiar, are taking over your mind, right? It's like you can only think about them because maybe you admire them so much. It's like you maybe want to learn from these successful steps that they had taken, right, in the past, that put them in this incredible position of respect and admiration and, you know, leadership perhaps, right? And it's like, it's authentic, right? That's the thing. It's like that is the difference that really got you, because I feel like if you didn't go on this research and you didn't find how authentic they are and how deserving they are of all of this success, it's almost like maybe you wouldn't be thinking so much about them, right? It's almost like the more you look into who they are, what they have done, what they have accomplished, it's like the more they are inspiring to you, right? And so, but I feel like there is something that the universe is preparing that is still out of you, that is still being kept from you perceiving further, right? So I feel like there are surprises. It's like you thinking about this King of Pentacles and them being, you know, this real image of what an incredible partner could be. Yes, it's part of the glimpses that this Magician is allowing you to see, but it's like it's almost like this iceberg, right? It's like you're seeing just the tip of it. It's like you don't know the biggest part of it, right? It's still hidden, right? So, but I feel like, you know, with the Magician, right, being the master manifestor, and this one being a real person, right, and you desiring a real relationship, I feel like it has to, like this surprise that is still out of you for you, it has to do with the manifestation of a partnership, a relationship, whether it is with this or not. It's like with this one or not, right? It's like maybe they are serving as the concrete example of a living person that could fulfill that role, right? That could be the match, right? So Cancer, I'm going to pull more cards to see what is this surprise from the Magician, and I'm going to pull from the astrological runes. So if you want to join me in the extended reading, I'll be happy to see you, and you can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.